Hey garage gang, Easy Jeezy here. How you doing today? I've been out in the garage a few times already and thought I was going to set up a full flow oil system on one of my cases, doing starting the 1776 build. And so I thought, man, you know, this is something the guys might want to see, so thought I'd come and get you and you can join me. So hopefully I got some stuff set up here. We'll go through this together. And hope you're all having a good day. So let's see. We're here in the garage, and we'll get you set up here. What's that over there on the floor? Huh? Did you hear something? 13 millimeter wrench. I'm always looking for my 13 millimeter. I wonder how that got there. I could have swore I heard something. There it is again. Whoa! Oh my goodness. You gotta check this out. This is crazy. Ha! This is crazy. Take a look at this. I think I found my garage gremlin. The guy's been taking my... Look at the size of that son of a gun. Look at that size of that frog. What the heck? This is too much. I've been chasing this gremlin for the longest time. I always have somebody stealing my wrenches. I'm always looking for those things. What the heck? Let me get a stick or something here. Gosh darn it. That is the biggest thing I've ever seen. And get out of there. Get out of there. Ha! I better let the garage door open. Let that sucker out. Alright, get out of here. Shoot! Shoot! Ha! Too much. There he goes. Well, I got a video to make. Ain't got time for that stuff right now. Look at this. Had two of my 13 millimeter wrenches. That's crazy. Huh. Well, there's a lake nearby, so man, I never seen one that big. Alright. So let's get started here. Got my garage clothes on, having a few laughs, and want to thank Crazy Horse Four Wheel Horses for joining my nightmare. Alright, so let me make sure this is all in the viewfinder here. I think we're gonna have some fun on this one, guys. Alright, a full flow oil system. This is my old 1776. This thing was in service for like I'm just going to say 20 years, because it was in a bus when I got it, and I don't know how long that guy had it. I did talk to the fellow who originally owned it, because he left some paperwork in the car, old German guy, and there was no oil filter other than stock on it at that time. And what we had done was use this type of oil pump with a filter that sticks off the side out in the airstream. I told you I was guilty of that on another video, and we're going to do the whole 1776 build here. So I'm going to make a playlist for this, and I've got other playlists going. So if you're interested in this and like the way we present it, check out my channel. And so what we're going to do is I want to put a remote oil filter on it, a cartridge type remote oil filter. And the way you do that is when you're looking at the engine, under the tin, this oil galley, right here. I gotta make sure I don't drill the wrong one out myself. Okay, so what we want to do is pull that plug out of here and tap it, and we're going to plug the oil pump So that's going to force the oil through a hose or high pressure hose to a screw-on cartridge oil filter, which is better than the screen. We're going to run it the first time with the screen in there just to catch the big stuff, because everything that gets through that has to go through the pump. I don't want to damage the pump, and hopefully we were going to do a good job of cleaning it, but I always seem to get little bits of case sealer in there. So let's just keep going. Okay, and this is none of this information did I think of. I'm taking it straight from the Bird Blue Book, page 35. And it says that we can clearance to within 200 thousandths of the small aluminum plug at the end of the oil galley. And we'll look at that. Show you right there. But I'm no rocket scientist, that's for sure. And I'm learning from you folks all the time. And we're sharing our knowledge. And that's what's great about the YouTube garage. Okay. So if we're going to mess this up, I want to make sure that this is all in close enough so you can watch me goof this up or not. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is where my oil sending unit was. I've just made my 15 trips to the hardware store to come up with a few fittings to hook to my airline, and I'm just going to finger tighten it into the oil sending unit hole. And I don't know how noisy this is going to be. I hope it's not too noisy. My compressor will probably start later on. But what we're going to do is pressurize the oil system in the engine. Down here at the outlet of the oil pump, I've taken a paper towel and I've stuffed it in there. Whatever you put in there, a rubber plug, rags or whatever, make sure that you don't have any loose threads or anything that can lay behind there. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a like an 1/8 inch drill bit. Doesn't make any difference. We just want to hang on to this baby and get her out. Okay, so this is one of your main oil galleys, and here's the plug. And here we go. Alright, make sure I'm doing this right. I've done this on quite a few of my engines. I've done it in the car. Not in the car, take that back. I've done it with the engine assembled. I don't think you can do this in the car, unless maybe you have a bus or something where the back comes completely off. So, made a little hole there. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Just made a pilot hole with like an 1/8 inch bit. And that's a soft plug. Now I'm making a bigger hole. I don't want to get into the case right now. I just want to get through the plug. That's a pressed in plug. Okay. So, okay, we're done with the drilling, hopefully. The next thing I'm going to do, you can take a screw, a bolt, any type of something hard. This is an alignment tool. It's just a piece of hard steel, and it should come out of there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay, here it comes. There it comes. It just pulled right out. Okay, I just bent it back, and it came right out. So now I got an open oil galley. And that's where the return line, after it's gone to the filter, that's where it's going to pressurize. This same oil galley that it was using from the stock. Okay? So, now, what we want to do, and this is a setup that I just taped up and kept this together just for this job for years. Cost you a little bit of money, but you know, you may be able to do a few of your friends or rent this stuff. Okay, 1/8 inch pipe plug. Nothing magical about that. And on the pipe plug, it'll tell you 3/8 pipe. and it should say the drill bit size. Most of the time it tells you the drill bit size. Use such and such a number bit, and this one does not have it on there. But as it turns out, it's a 37/64. That's what the proper size is for that. Now, what I did on this drill is I held it up to the grinder and I ground a flat spot, turned it over, and ground another flat spot. You're not going to do this job with a power tool. This drill goes in so quick, so hard, because the case material is so soft. And I'll show you how I do it here. Grab a croissant. And now what I'm going to do, any chips that are created from the cutting of that tap later on, or this drill bit, we want them to not stay in the engine. We want to blow them out. So what I've done, got that paper towel in here, and it should be, can't feel with these gloves on, but it's blowing back this way. I'm going to keep the sound down, and you can see inside here, there's a shoulder. Gosh, I hope I have my mag light. Of course I don't, but I've got my other light over here. I may just stick this a little closer. It might help us both, and then again it might not. Got a case of the droops here. Gosh darn it. Sorry, thought I was a little better prepared than this. Okay, here we go. Alright, so it's a pretty close fit, right like that, but you don't want to take that tap and just drive it in there. Try to do it, everything the best way you can. I suppose if you have to, you have to. Okay? Now I'm just holding it. If you have a friend that can line you up and down, I wish you guys could talk, then that helps too. So I'm going to look from the top, and you can see it and hear it. You hear it cutting? It's just grabbing and chewing. That's right. That's that soft magnesium. In this case, looks like I got to go up just a little bit. It's not critical because a pipe tap is tapered. I'm going to go back. It really isn't a big deal, and I don't like to use grease or oil when I'm doing this. Now look how ugly that looks. It looks pretty nasty, doesn't it? But that's the way this job works. Alright, we're going to keep going here. If I screw up, I'll screw up. I'm not going to hide it from you guys. And before I spend any more. Hear it? Oh, isn't that freaky? But that's the way it's always worked for me. Look pretty straight, and it kind of will straighten itself up. And I'm not pushing in. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. Matter of fact, I just as soon it wasn't that much pressure, because it's that's why you don't want to use a drill. Okay. Okay, you can back it off and it'll blow most of that stuff out of the way here. Let's see, I want to go just a little farther. It gets real, okay. Okay. Now the air is blowing at me. I can feel it hitting my face. And you can see the little pieces of the chips from the cutting coming back this way. If you want, you want to take a chance, you can stuff a rag or something in there and pull it back. And what I'm going to do is I see just a little tiny burr. And I'm going to take this rat tail file all the chips are blowing in my face, and I'm going to jack up that air pressure here in just a second to do a cleaning out. Okay, I like the looks of that. I like the looks of that. And the edge of this oil pump hole. Okay, when you order a case and you pay that extra 25 or 50 bucks for the full flow feature, this is what they're doing. Alright, let's see if I can get you in close. Okay, you can see the chips that blew out on the floor while I was doing that. And that was just from doing it by hand. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a close-up here so you can get an idea of that. Now, can you see that in there? Now, you see that dark hole about 4 o'clock. That is the stock oil pressure spot. And now you can look inside there. Can you see? Down straight in the galley. It's a little bit rough, and that's okay. And if you got some, you want to take it further than that, go ahead. You just be as picky as you want. I'm just showing you the easy way. The easy jeezy way. Alright. Oh, this light sucks. Okay. So, let me make sure that you're in the frame. Now, let's keep going. Okay. Now, one of the reasons that Volkswagen used this material, this alloy material with the magnesium, aluminum alloys and stuff, was it really helped in their machining process. These were designed in the 30s and they were made, you know, back in the 40s and stuff. They were evolved to what they are now. I know things have changed. And like I always say, don't take anything I say as gospel. Now, so I'm going to do this dry. If you're doing it with an assembled case, you know, on an engine that's put together ready to run, they say that you can put some grease on here. And I've tried it that way. But what I found best was just to take a rag and a little piece of welding rod and stuff it in there and pull that back when I'm done. So I know the clock is ticking. As usual, you know what? I'm going to use, I can't remember, it's been a little bit since I did this. Maybe I can use this tool, maybe not. Okay, it does fit, wow. Alright, this was just to help me get it started straight. Okay, now, it's a 3/8 pipe thread. And it's the same deal. Okay, you're going to feel it. And you want to get it as straight as you can. Kind of spooky here. Trying to get it nice. It'll want to start straight, but you can see it's cutting already, right from the get-go. And if it slips off, it's bound to slip out. You're going to think you lost it. And that's because you're a shaky old man. But we're going to go in deeper than that, and you'll see it'll straighten out. It all works out in the end. Okay, all works out in the end. All right, now I don't even have to force it. This baby, it looks straight that way. It looks like I'm down just a little bit, but you know, it's a soft case. Okay, and it's going easy. I can feel it. It's now, normally when you use a tap, you want to back it up and then to cut the chips. But this, they're just flying out of there. And I've got the air on, and I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Well, shoot, see, that's too much. It's blowing in my face. All right. You don't want them little chips floating around your engine case. The whole purpose of putting a full flow oil filter system on is to filter everything and keep garbage out. Oh man, this is really cutting. If you use that right size drill bit, the correct size drill bit, which was, oh, you'll have to go back and read it yourself, 37/64. Okay, so we've gone in just a little ways. You don't want to overdo it, and I'll show you why here. Now, okay, you want to get yourself a 3/8 Street 90. I bought these. I couldn't find them at the hardware store. You used to be able to get these at Napa and the hardware store, and you could probably get it, but the day I was looking for them, I couldn't find one. So what we're going to do here is take it out of the package. And this is made from Taiwan. Oh boy, so this you know is going to be good. So, okay, you're looking at it here. Alright, it looks like it's going to be fairly straight, and that's what we want. Nice catch, you see that? I might be old, but I'm still quick. Okay, so the problem becomes this chunk of magnesium here, this chunk of the case. Now, if we're going to run the stock tin, that's going to be underneath it, like so. You're going to have to notch or cut a piece out in here, dimple it in, but you want to keep air from the exhaust underneath here, that hot air from getting into the engine compartment. You can do whatever you want. I've cut big holes in here and then just gobbed silicone in. I've left them alone. It doesn't matter. If you're going to drive, and everybody's got their own idea, so you figure out what you want to do, okay? Alright, so there are no rules in any of this stuff. You do it the way you want to do it. So now, according to the book, I can take, and I know I need to. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Before I even get started with that, I've got a, I thought I was ready. Alright, now, I've got a plug with a hex head. I just bought this at Ace a few minutes ago, Ace Hardware. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick it in here a little ways. Okay, now, in theory, this is the hard part, keeping that junk out of your engine. You could stop right here. You don't have to put a full flow system on. But later on down the road, if you should decide to, you're already drilled and tapped. And when you order a case that's drilled and tapped for full flow, this is what you have to do. You can run stock, you can run the filter, you can do whatever you want. Sorry about that compressor. That's life in a big city. Okay, so I'm going to start chewing on this baby. We've got a long ways to go. Fast, and it's better if you have your engine sitting on something more solid than what I got here. I don't like using power tools because it goes too fast. If I make a mistake, I don't know. I've never cut through one of these, and I figured if I did, I'd probably have to try something foolish with JB Weld or something. Get plugged up, make a soft wooden surface. This is like watching paint dry. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to edit yet to blend two different things together. And that cheap camera that I'm using doesn't have a pause button. If I turn it off now, it's going to start another video. That's the only way I can do it. Maybe I should do that. Make it a part 2. Maybe be a little less boring. But just in case, let me tell you what I'm going to do. And then on the next video, I'll show you what I'm going to do or what I did. Okay, it said I got 200 thousandths. Let's see if we can get this in here a little closer. Man, it sucks getting old. Alright, Okay, that's where we're working, right there. Alright, so I'm going to set my dial caliper. There's 200 thousandths right there. And I'm going to lock it down right here. Okay, so there's the gap. There's the 200 thousandths. It's on the outside of this or the inside of that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to look with my bifocals. I'm going to find the outside edge on this side of the plug. And I could probably scratch it just like that. Don't use your calipers for a marking tool, but you know, I'll do anything for YouTube garage people. Okay, I can hardly see it, but it's there. There's a little scratch. And that's how much material I can move from here. And I need to remove that material from there to create enough room so that this 90 will swing around. I need to tighten it in this hole. And that's why I didn't continue tapping in any deeper than I did, because I want to make sure that it starts getting pretty snug about here. So when I come around, it'll be facing the right way, which is down here, because I'm going to put that filter out in my fender well, get some free cooling. And this is old school. This is the way we used to do it. So man, yeah, working great. As long as you got that air in there, you can touch it up. Okay, in part 2, what we're going to do, you have to modify your oil pump. And what you're going to do is that's the big hole, so that's the inlet, and here's the small hole. This is the outlet. Let me back this up. We're done with the close-up anyhow. Whoop. Okay. Alright, so the next step is we're going to take our oil pump and we're going to put a plug in here. This is real easy to do. Maybe I'll do this right now. We'll just do this right now. Okay. You're also going to have a 3/8, a 1/4 inch and a 3/8 pipe tap is what you're going to need for this job. So here's my 1/4 inch. I'll lock it in the tool here. And I'm just going to take my oil pump and I'm going to take the gears out. And okay, here's my outlet. Now I'm going to look at it. I'm going to just eyeball it. I'm going to try to keep it as straight as I can. It cuts real easy. Of course, I don't know. This was made in, it really doesn't make any difference where it's made. Okay. Now I'm going to back the tap out of here. You have to stop the flow of oil from coming out your pump because you want to direct it where you want to go. There's people that have little pills and plugs that they say you can stick up in the case. I wouldn't use those. Not me. Okay, same type of deal. I've got a 1/4 inch pipe plug, and on this it's not real critical even to get that thing, because you're not trying to make it stop in a certain place. It's just a plug, and the chips are giving me trouble here. Oops. Alright, I should have gone a lot deeper with that tap. And now that I think about it, I think I always did used to. Now, when you're restarting the tap, okay, what I like to do is I like to do it by hand. I'm rushing through this thing because I know I'm hurting for time, and